Hi everybody and welcome to another video. Thanks for joining me again on my channel, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. Today is Sunday here in Brisbane, and it's pretty cool. We had a nice day. It's getting pretty coldish now, but anything under 20 degrees Celsius seems cold to me now, even though I'm from Russia, so go figure. I've acclimatized pretty well over here. So today I want to talk about something that happened a couple of days ago. I got back from my camp and I went into the doctors to get my blood tested, as I do every few months, like every maybe a couple of times a year, just to make sure that everything is on track, my irons, my potassiums, calciums, whatever, just like everything. And it was very interesting because this time the doctor that I normally go to, she asked me to go on scales, and it was really funny. She kind of was just like, oh yes, so what is your weight right now? And I kind of gave her a number, but I wasn't 100% sure because I don't prey on the scales anymore. I don't jump on scales all the time and kind of keep too much of a track on it, because I think it's a lot more legit if you just kind of see how well your clothes is fitting, how fit you are, because sometimes that number on the scale, it doesn't really indicate what kind of weight it is. Kelly from the Banana TV did the salt experiment, and she showed that if you consume quite a bit of salt, even just for a week or two, you end up getting quite a lot of weight on scales, right? But it's not actually fat, it's just water weight, because your body has this excess salt. Anyway, besides the point, but do check that channel out. It's called Banana TV. It's pretty cool. So anyway, I jumped on the scale, and it's really funny because the doctor's like, oh, you don't have to look if you don't want to. And I was just like, what the hell? Why would I not want to look? It's just what am I, living in some sort of pretend universe, and I am unstable teenager or whatever that can't process it, which perhaps at some point I don't know if I've never really been like that, but it was pretty funny to me anyway. So she saw it and she didn't say anything, and I went back to the table, to the desk where we were sitting, and we were chatting and stuff, and what I was explaining to her what tests I wanted to do and why and whatnot. And I was like, okay, cool, you made me jump on the scales, what's your feedback? What she said is just well, you're overweight and you obviously need to lose weight. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. I have eyes, I'm aware of things like that, so give me more. Don't just kind of give me the problem. As a professional, I guess, talk about what solution you might offer. So what she said is she pulled out a piece of paper and she wrote on it, light and easy. And what else she wrote after that is 1,200 calories. Thank you very much. Medical professionals are still advising this to pretty much everyone and anyone who walks through the office doors. I don't have any affiliations with Light and Easy or any of their competitors, so I'm not specifically targeting this company. What I, however, wanted to talk about, and in a way almost rant about, is just the passion, I guess, this lady was trying to push Light and Easy to me for. And she was just all you need to do is go on the 1,200 calorie program from Light and Easy for a couple of weeks, and you'll be able to drop at least 3 kilos, or about 3 kilos in those 2 weeks. And okay, personally for me, I think having productive discussion debates is very helpful. When you don't get emotional about the subject, but actually talk about the facts and logically try and state what you feel, what you think, and the other person does the same. So it was really funny. And I was just okay, first thing I said was 1,200 calories. I'm it is a very small amount of calories. That's not even enough for a teenager to live off in a day. Why are you recommending this to an adult, right? who does a lot of physical activity, who goes to work, who has to like do all these things. And she's like, well, I agree it's a low amount of calories, which is good. She agreed on that. But she's like, well, but you do need to lose weight. So you should really go on a low calorie diet. My response is, I obviously, with things like that, I'm pretty comfy, and thankfully to Frilly the Banana Girl and Duran Rider, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty aware of the nutrition and just kind of metabolic damage, and just more focused on fitness rather than how it's appeared, whatever, what you look like and stuff like that, because I believe that fitness is much more important in the long term, and your habits pay back. So if you do something for a long period of time, you're going to get a payback. So if you, like I have in the past, starved myself, like was on these like crazy protein shakes and diet pills and shit like that, now I'm paying it back, and I understand it, and I'm not like angry about it. I'm just like aware. I'm annoyed that I didn't know better, but I didn't know better. So anyway, not to get off topic, for me fitness is more important right now than, you know, looking a certain way, because I think long term that is actually health and fitness is more important than just your appearance. And I think if you are healthy and fit long term and do it for a long period of time consistently, you will look your best. So it doesn't really matter what some doctor says or some number. But anyway, back to this. So I said, with 1,200 calories, I'm like, I won't be able to do any exercise. And she's like, no, you'd be surprised. You'd have a lot of energy to do what you want to do in life. And it's pretty ridiculous, really, because when I think about it, my cycles, my bike rides that I do on weekends, I burn like 3,000 calories easy, like just on one of those bike rides. And this lady is recommending to me eat 1,200 in a day. It's just like, well, what do I just not get out of bed for a day? Is that like the plan? And in fact, I've noticed that if I eat less and still want to do the same stuff, like go to work, be active, and push myself, like for public speaking, for example, or teamwork or something like that, just really push myself to be super proactive in life. It's just like, it's not enough. The following day, I just feel very drained and unmotivated. So anyway, I was like, okay. I was like, cool, you think it's enough. I was like, I kind of disagree, but I appreciate your advice because I assume it's sincere. So then I was like, okay, so please tell me if you have had any personal experience with this program and eating such low-calorie diet. And what she said was, if you can see here at the top, she started going on about how her and her husband were on light and easy for 6 months, and her husband was on the 1,500 calorie diet per day, and she was on 1,200 calorie diet. And I was like, okay, cool, sweet, whatever, no judgments. Like, let's have a healthy discussion. I was like, what your experience with that? And she's like, well, my husband lost quite a bit of weight, like 10 kilos or whatever, or something, like some number she said. And she's like, I've lost a few kilos as well, and that worked really well, and it was so successful, like it was really good. And I was like, well, all right, that sounds good then. So was your husband successful in keeping the weight off? And she's like, no, he's very unmotivated and undriven, and he just doesn't care about his health. And I thought it was funny, since she's a doctor and she's married to somebody, and the person she's married to doesn't care about their health. Like, what the hell? But anyway, regardless of that, she's like, no, and he's like actually gained more than double of what he has lost. And I was just like, well, that's a clear indication that the freaking program didn't work. Because in my mind, if a program works, it will work long term. And you're not going to be forced to keep buying this little whatever, like plan non-stop, or keep buying some gimmicks or some pills or some shakes off the internet, which are not going to work long term. What you need to do is actually find something that you can easily, in a sense that you'd want to keep doing it, like keep going for 15-20k bike rides daily, keep eating healthy fruits and veggies every day, raw or fresh or whatever form you want it to. Anyway, she kept on like kind of talking how her husband wasn't really motivated or interested, or in being healthy. And she's like, oh, my husband's just so lazy. All he wants to do, like, he wants to live for his food and he always wants to be full, which is fine. And I understand. Freaking everybody wants to be full because that is how we survive in this planet. That's like one of the reasons how we can survive: oxygen, water, and some sort of nutrition for energy. Not for the sense that food's that important, but actually food is energy. It's not the enemy. But I was like, okay, cool. You can, beg your husband quite a bit. Fine, whatevs. I was like, okay, so you were on the diet as well in the program, 1,200 calories. Tell me how it went for you. And she was like, oh, I've lost a few kilos as well. I was like, cool, sweet. So were you able to keep it off? Were you successful at that? And she's like, oh, for a little bit I was. But now I'm obviously overweight because I'm old and I also had children. So yeah, and I was just like, so you telling me that the diet didn't work for her husband because he was lazy and unmotivated and he doesn't care about his health, and it didn't work for you, and she said that she's gained the weight back. And I was like, it didn't work for you because you're saying that you're old and you had kids. So just like, seriously. And that she said that they did this program a few years back, like more than 5 years ago and stuff. So I was like, seriously, this is what you're recommending when on personal experience, it doesn't work long term. And I was trying to tell her that it's not the short term that matters. I was like, so it doesn't actually work long term, this diet that you're recommending to me right now. She was like, well, it does if you're motivated enough and you're driven enough, but it's not really. So she's like, it's all up to you how successful you will be on this program. But the thing is, no one is going to be successful under eating this much, 1,200 calories. Like, it's insane. I'm not even making this up. I'm surprised that grown adults in the world recommend this stuff to kids, to young teenagers. I'm not a teenager, all right, but young adults, other clients. And because she said she recommends it to everyone because she thinks it's very helpful. In my mind, I'm like, why are you pushing this so hard? Firstly, it's not healthy. If you're a doctor and you think eating 1,200 calories a day for an adult is healthy, I strongly disagree. But I'm not saying that she's a bad person. No way at all. Like, she is a lovely person, and I believe that she was really kind of trying to give me a good advice, and perhaps she really believes in this program, and that's the way it is. But I'm not kind of calling her any kind of names, but I'm just giving my opinion on the subject and criticism. And I understand that I'm not in a perfect size, a perfect shape right now, like Freely, for example, right? But the thing is, it didn't take you, a few months to get where you are right now, a couple of years. It took you years and years of using and abusing your body, being on Duromine, being on some other crappy diet pills, having protein shakes, abusing supplements, abusing stimulants, coffee, energy drinks, shit like that, undereating. I used to do this. I used to do shit like that. I used to undereat and freaking starve myself. And sometimes all I'd have is 3 giant coffees a day. And okay, sweet, I've lost the weight. I weighed 58 kilos at some point as an adult. But it's not healthy and it's not sustainable long term. So why even bother with something that's not going to be lasting, that's not going to give you the results that you want? Why not better try and find the solution that will actually work long term, not just for those few weeks? Because what I was trying to tell her was just so why are you recommending this if it doesn't work long term? She's like, well, because you do need to lose weight, and I want you to lose weight as fast as possible, which also was ridiculous to me, because why is it even healthy? And I'm like, you shouldn't want to lose weight really fast. And she's like, no, but you won't anyway. Just try this diet out for a couple of weeks, and if you have enough money, you can keep on it. We were able to have it for 6 months. And at the end of the talk, I just said, thank you very much for your advice. I appreciate your time, and I understand that you gave me advice you truly believed in was correct. So after that, I also didn't really feel that great because I felt like she kind of pushed me towards lose weight fast and freaking don't eat any calories, or like barely enough to get out of bed. And just like seriously, if I ate 1,200 calories like this doctor recommends, and she was kind of telling me that she has all these like decades of experience in medical industry, and she's seen like how it's done and how counting calories works and blah blah. But see, it doesn't work long term. I wish I never knew what it was. Like, I wish I never got that idea into my head. And in a way, like, now I can talk about the experience, right? And I can kind of share that experience with others. But seriously, girls and boys, if there are boys out there doing the same thing, don't count calories just so you can undereat calories. Feel what you're hungry for. Be active. Be just out there living life. Don't listen to this freaking stupid gimmicks to lose a few pounds in a few weeks and then feel great about yourself and then gain it all back. She gained it back. Her husband gained it back. Everybody does in their time. So there's no need to abuse and use your body. You know, it's just like you're going to have to pay it back. Isn't it better to find a way that will work long term and you're not going to struggle keeping it at it? Alright, this video is super long. If you're still here, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the little rant. And yeah, stop counting calories and start counting hills. Get on your bike, put your running shoes on, get out and swim, go for a football game, whatever it is that you want to do. Just stop counting calories and stop under-eating, and rather focus on your fitness, on being active, on pumping your lymphatic system, on being out active with your friends, being social, and, you know, kind of enjoying the sunshine and breathing in oxygen and drinking lots of water and getting lots of sleep. Stop counting calories and start counting hills.